Well, hello again. Happy Tuesday. No, I'm not doing, what do you call it? If it's November? Vlogember. I'm not doing that. But I am going to try to pop on a few times more than I do, when I've got something to say. And I have got something to say, so here I am. If you're wondering what's going on with my top now, I've been looking all day for a book that I'd mentioned yesterday. I went through all the bookcase, and it's not an easy task when you're like me. You have to keep sitting down because books are heavy, and I couldn't find this book. I thought, oh goodness, where is it? So then I decided I'd go into the garage, which there's a great big, them big plastic tubs with the lids on, full of patterns. It'll be in there, I said. It'll be in there. Goes down a huge rabbit hole. I'm sat there shivering in the garage because it was cold with my coat on. But I kept sitting on my scooter, and every time I sat on the scooter, the head bit, boom, it kept knocking my hair forward, so it looks like a bird's nest, but I don't care. I'm leaving it. I'll have my shower tomorrow and sort it out then. So you'll have to put up with the bird's nest. I'm looking like a demented Barbara Windsor around, but never mind. Anyway, as I say, I got sidetracked looking at all these patterns. Supposed to be looking for a book, but no, I get sidetracked and brought all these patterns in. Add to the clutter in my house, why not, Janet? Just add a bit more, I mean, I found two patterns like Montricot and that. Anyway, couldn't find this book. I thought, one more box. For some unknown reason, I had never opened this box since I moved. So I had to break it. Oh, it was taped up. It was a big plastic box, but taped up. So I ripped all the tape off, opened it. Oh, musty smell nearly knocked me over. And it was full of all the American magazines, which I really want to go back out and have a look at, but it's going dark and there's no light in the garage. That's another thing that's on my to-do list, but I can't afford an electrician at the minute, so there's a big fluorescent tube there, but it doesn't work, so I need help. Electrical things, gas things, things like that, out of my remit. Yeah, can't do things like that. So I had to come in, but right at the top of all these American magazines and everything was the book I was looking for. Yay! So what I was talking about yesterday was, I'd said, I couldn't remember, I've got a strap thing showing. These little loop things, they come hanging out, don't they? Some people cut them out, I never do, because I like to hang them up on hangers. And it comes in handy, when you're hanging them up so they don't slide up. Digressing again. I go off on tangents here, there and everywhere. My dad used to say I had a brain like a butterfly. It flitted from subject to subject. And he said, unfortunately, like when I changed subjects, I didn't always inform people. So, people didn't always know what I was talking about because I'd go from one subject to another in my brain, but they were a subject behind. They hadn't kept up, if you know what I mean. Anyway, back to what I was talking about from yesterday. We were discussing the world of wool, which I wasn't impressed with. It's very, very mixed. The comments on Facebook, loads of them are really negative. But there are some people trying to look on the bright side, saying, well, it's a game and it's this and it's that and all that. Anyway, I found the book I was talking about. Apparently it was, where are we going now? 10 25-minute programmes first transmitted on BBC2 in October 1976. It was a brilliant programme. They brought a book out as well by Pam Dawson. Book of patterns that went with it. It was, I tell you, we had wool shops at the time this book came out. Well, the series came out. We got loads and loads of customers coming in wanting to learn how to knit. So the programme did work, if you know what I mean. It inspired people to want to learn to knit, whereas I don't think this new one will. I'm sorry, Tom Daly, but I don't think this World of Wool will inspire anybody who doesn't knit to rush out and buy a pair of needles. Yeah. Whereas this book, this programme did. When you look in the book, it covered everything. I mean, it gives you the diagrams in the book on how to learn to knit and everything. But it covered that. It covered talking about how you did tension and why you did tension squares. I know we don't always do them, but they were explaining why you needed to do them. And they were explaining techniques, you know, like knitting two together, purling two together, how to measure, you know, how to measure things, which sounds simple if you're a knitter, but if you're a beginner, you don't know whether you measure a sleeve like straight up the middle or whether you measure it up the shape bit. You don't know these things if you're not a knitter. It's logical to the rest of us, but not if you're new, yeah? It also covered, you know, different patterns, and each week they did something. They discussed histories of knitting. I mean, well, I think it was only 25 minutes of a programme, but it was great. They told you how to, you know, knit, because we didn't do circular needles back in the day, how to knit on like 3 needles, 4 needles, and how to do lacy knitting. They talked about the Gansey, you know, traditions and you know, why there was Aaron's, and, you know, Aaron styles cables. They taught you how to cable. They taught you how to do the loopy stitch, how to do colour work, or fair isle as we used to call it. And, you know, it all got covered. There was even, you know, charts for simple fair isle. They gave you the charts if you wanted to do them. Each week it was something different. I was glued to it, absolutely glued to it. I mean, even my husband at the time, everything stopped when it came on. I said, sorry, I don't care what you want to watch on BBC2 or ITV. I'm having me 25 minutes. And that was me, I put my foot down, yeah. It talks about, you know, how to stitch up. All obvious things to us if we've done it all our lives, but they are not obvious to anybody who's beginning. You know, you don't automatically know how to sew something up correctly. In fact, I probably don't even do it right now. You know, even things like how to put a tassel on. But there was patterns galore, you know, and it was explaining, you know, how to do charts, you know, for doing the decreasings, the increasings, you know, showing you what to do. And I mean, I think this new programme is very much a missed opportunity to get people into wanting to learn. They also, you know, did crochet as well. I'll show you some of the patterns that are in there, because they did give you patterns for actual things. Where we've gone, there's pictures of them. I mean, I made 1 or 2 of the things out of here. Here we go, patterns. I mean, they're in black and white because it's a very old book, isn't it? I mean, yeah, I wouldn't wear the dolman now, but I would wear that jacket even now. You know, it's just a basic. I think it's just garter stitch. It's either just garter stitch or just stocking stitch for a beginner. And those type of sweaters were all the rage in 1976. They used to call them a sloppy Joe, if you remember. Then we had the baby cardigans and jumpers. It's just a shame they weren't in colour, isn't it, really? I think there are some coloured pictures in. You know, just a little basic baby cardigan. And then there was a basic sweater. You know, again, they did things stitch by stitch. They did it like as the weeks went on. Basic cardigan. They showed you things like how to, you know, shape, decrease, how to do the button band and that. Now this was gorgeous. It was done in 4-ply, so I never made it. It was like Lowry, you know, L.S. Lowry type of thing. It was beautiful when they'd done it. And Pam Dawson, who was one of the, I think she was one of the presenters, was she? Who did the presenting? I can't remember, let me think. I think it was Pam Dawson, actually. She was a beautifully neat knitter. Oh, so beautifully neat. Yeah. And that was a sweater. That cardigan was beautiful. I think she'd done it in a sort of a shiny wool, you know, a little bit silky at the time, and it was beautiful. And poodle wool was all the rage. You may not remember it if you were young. I had a cardigan in green, in the poodle wool. And I also had a poncho done in squares. The guy's Aran cardigan there is actually crochet, I think, if I remember rightly. We'll get to it in the end. But it was so inspiring, and I made the shawl. Yeah, a little Fair Isle cardigan for children. I mean, they covered such a lot in these 10, 25-minute programmes. And then they published this book. And then there was a little top for a little girl with the little ladybirds on the sleeves. You know, it was such a good programme, yeah. Such a good programme. I just wish they'd do it again. I've tried to find, I did find one little excerpt somewhere, I think it was on YouTube. And I thought, oh, how lovely. I mean, look at that shawl, isn't it beautiful? But they didn't make you feel like you couldn't do it if you were a beginner, if you're with me. They were very encouraging to anybody that was learning. Yeah. If you want to know any more information, I'm not giving you the book. No way am I giving you the book, but I would think it's out of copyright. Although I did actually buy one not long ago from one of these web page sites, you know, that have old books. Yeah, a little dressing gown for a little girl, that's sweet. Yeah. And I did actually find one because I sent it to America. We were talking about vintage patterns, and I said, I've got a brilliant vintage pattern. And I managed to find one. And there you are, you see, my husband's a golfer. You can put him a golfer on the back of his sweater. But, oh, there's the charts, you know, for the Lowry thing. I would have loved to have knitted that, but I was never a 4-ply knitter back in the day. It would have took me forever, you know, to do. Forever, ever. It's got the basic things in, like, you know, fingerless gloves. I don't know whether it's got any socks in. I don't think we did socks. And that sweater, I absolutely loved it. It was gorgeous, but they'd done it in mohair. And I'm very, very itchy coo. Maybe I could find an alternative to doing it with, not to use mohair. Yeah, mohair jersey. Maybe there's something else I could use instead. I suppose it depends on the needles, doesn't it, really? What needles it's on. Oh, number 3, that's 6.5mm. I'd have to be chunky, wouldn't it, really? Yeah. I mean, that, it's sort of like come back into fashion, hasn't it, that little top? And then that's a bed jacket done in squares. I did make that sloppy Joe, whatever they call it. They were all the rage, like, with the big wide sleeves. They were very, very basic. Absolutely as basic as anything. I didn't make the bikini. Even back then I didn't have the figure. Shawls. I wish they were in colour, but that, I would make that now. You know me and the hippie ways. I would make those, the waistcoat and the jacket, I would make that now, actually. In fact, I might. Watch this space. Watch this space. You never know what Janet's going to do next, do you? Yeah. And then we've got the loopy stitch for the children. Loopy, loopy. I had a loopy jacket, I think I told you once. And I made that jacket, that one. I made that one because they were fashionable back in the day, although I still would wear it now. I think it's done in chunky, actually, that one. Women's crochet jackets, what's it done in? Can't remember what I did it in. I think it's chunky. Oh no, it says double knitting. Ooh, double knitting, definitely, yeah. So that's, you may still on some obscure site be able to get a copy of this. But it brought it back to me, you know, when I saw what a missed opportunity that show was. And I made that show, definitely made the show. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to find that book. I really am going to find that book. It doesn't say how much it cost. It just was published in 1976. Yeah, British Broadcasting Corporation. Woo-hoo-hoo. Unlike the BBC to do anything like this. But they used to do a fantastic programme on sewing with Anne Ladbury. In fact, that's why my mum bought a Bernina sewing machine. Whether she thought buying a Bernina sewing machine like Anne Ladbury would make her a better sewer, but my dad complied. I mean, by the time I'm talking about 1976, we weren't as broke as we used to be. We had a little bit of money because we had the shops. And so my dad, he said, oh, go on then, I'll buy you one. It cost, I don't know how much. I still got it, still going strong. So, but she did very basic things, Anne Ladbury. It wasn't like Sewing Bee, where they do these ridiculous costumes in 5 minutes, you know, and one. She just did, you know, how to put a placket, how to do a pleat, how to put a zip in. Things that you really want to know if you're going to be sewing, you know. And it was the same with this knitting programme. It was teaching you the absolute basics that you would want to know if you were beginning how to knit. You know, we forget when we've been doing it for years and years and years, we forget how mystifying it is to anybody that's just picked up a pair of needles for the first time. They don't know what all this gobbledygook is on patterns like pass the slip stitch over. They've got no idea. I mean, probably I didn't when I started to learn to knit, but fortunately I had my mum, who was a very avid knitter. She was a fantastic knitter. She wasn't that good at crocheting, but she was a fantastic knitter. And I had her, you see, every time I didn't know what to do. What does this mean? What does this mean? My mum was there, you know. And so by the time we had the shops, I was competent enough. When people came into the shop and, can you find me a very basic pattern? Can you find me one that's very easy? And then, of course, they'd come in and say, you know, I don't know what this means. This is what your local wool shop is for. Yarn shop if you're in America. Sadly, they're becoming a thing of the past. But it was, I mean, the big stores might sell you the wool cheaper. But when you go wrong, where do you go? Join a knit club. By all means, join a knit club, because by then, if you look in your neighbourhood, find one. If you're not competent, if you're not, how can I put it, confident, go find a knit club. Somebody there, my age or a bit younger or whatever, will always help you. If you say, I don't understand what this means on my pattern, what does it mean when it says this? Because when you're beginning to knit, it's like a foreign language, isn't it? You know, all these symbols and whatnots and thingamajigs. Yes, there's YouTube. I know there's YouTube. But there's nothing better than asking somebody in person, will they show you what to do? You could spend half the day, couldn't you, Googling, trying to find the right video that's pertinent to what you're looking for, you know. So anyway, and my buttons have come, so my purple jacket on the back of my chair can now have some buttons. I don't know whether I'm deciding between those buttons or these buttons. I'll find out which ones look the best, because that's a slightly blue, no, that's a bluey purple and that's a pinkier purple, so whichever. The others will come in handy. And then my wool came. My naughty wool came, yeah. It's only cheap. It's only the Pato. Nothing fancy-dancy, you know. But it's a little bit more luminous, the orange, than what I really wanted. But, you know, hey-ho. You want to go bright, go home, yeah. I wanted an orange, but I didn't really want it quite that fluorescent. I don't think it says or it says, what does it say on it? Does it say a colour? It just says orange. I would call that like safety orange, fluorescent orange. It's a little bit brighter than what I wanted, but never mind. And then chocolate brown. That isn't me, whatever, really brown, but sometimes if you're wearing something brighter, like a gold or something like that, you need a brown cardigan to kind of like tone it down a bit, you know. I must have got rid of me only brown cardigan, and if you watched my video when I was doing my ironing, I have got a very fine brown cardigan, but it smells too big for me now. And as you know, I've gone off baggy things. I'm baggy enough without wearing baggy things. If you wonder what I'm wearing, it's crocheted in a cotton. It was, what was it called? It was foreign cotton. Can't think what it was called. I've got a pin in because my button keeps coming undone and it got on my nerves. I stand a bit further back. It's just an ordinary cotton cardigan with a nice, I think I made it up actually. It wouldn't be me to follow a pattern, would it? You know what I'm like. Although I have reached out all these patterns out of the out of the garage. And my necklace is one of eBay specials. Looks like a million things hanging on a line, doesn't it? But you know me. It has to be cute. So I wanted something with the turquoise and the purple, so there we go. Yeah, what pattern did I find that I liked? I found quite a few actually. Oh, that one. It's an old pattern. I do wear it in emerald green. I'd started knitting with some lovely purple with a little lurex in it to go with my new dress for my birthday or for Christmas. And I wanted something lacy, so I started knitting, which was, you know, I went wrong. Talking in the knit club, went wrong, completely went wrong. So I thought, right, I'll do that. I do like it, and everybody likes it when I wear it in emerald green, yeah. You might be able to find it on Etsy. Etsy has a million things that you think you can't get anywhere, but that was, I know you won't get it from Payton's, but you get it from Etsy. And then I made these for my nieces, and they loved them. It was Bonita Patterns, crocodile stitch adult boots. I made them in chunky for them, yeah. Got crocodile stitch around the top. Might have another go a pair of them for me. I haven't got any wood flooring here, so I won't be going slippy sliding. I've got carpet. So, yeah. And what else did I find? Oh, I found my Hayfield Crochet Variations book in there. Look at that. £2.35. Oh my goodness me. I think I made something out of here, but I can't remember what I made. Oh, I know, I made that cardigan. Let me see it. I don't know whether you can still get the book or not. You might still be able to get it. What Etsy tend to do and eBay is they tend to just take one sort of picture out of it like that, and then they'll sell just the odd pattern. Yeah, I made that cardigan as well. Yeah. What else have I made? Yeah. Oh, I got that. I like Tacky Stacey Charles usually, but I don't think I made anything out of this one. Oh yes, I did. I made that very lacy cardigan out of this book. And this is a very, very ancient book. In fact, I've lost most of it. I made that shawl. I actually don't know whether the shawl pattern's here. Oh yeah, it is shawls, yeah. Because the book's lost its cover and everything. I made that one in black, and I've still got it, and it's been with me on every single holiday I've ever been on. And I made it in black, and it was in Tricell, if you remember Tricell. And it washed and washed and washed, and I've still got it. Oh, that's some other shawls I've made. I think they're knitted and crocheted in that one. I need to start making more shawls again. You know, not for me, not for me. For, you know, for the old dears, yeah. And that I made many years ago. I didn't put the big collar on because I can't do with anything. But it's so pretty. And it was so easy to do. You know, you threaded the wool. Oh, hello. You threaded the wool through the holes in the sweater. And the little daisies, you'd made the hole where you put the centre of the daisies. So I'm not good at embroidery, but even I managed it. And that was really, really sweet. So I liked that. Oh, and I did find one other Jean Green. I've got loads of Jean Greenhow books and I can't find them. They might be in the stinky, the mouldy smelling box when I get round to it. I only found this one with the knitted animals, the little ducks on it. And it's got Puss in Boots. You can still get the Jean Greenhow books. You can still get them everywhere. The froggies. I have loads of them and I don't know, like I say, they're probably at the bottom of the pile. Oh, those are sweet. I've forgotten about them. Little mice. Yay! Yeah. I don't do amigurumis as a rule, as you know. They're cute though, aren't they? They're cute. You'll probably hear a little ringling in a minute because next door seem to have come home. Have we got anything else? Told you didn't, that's my ring doorbell. He says it needs charging up. That one I made last year, if you remember. No, last year, year before. I made it in like a jade green. It's really, really thick and it'll be something that I will wear once it gets really, really cold. And this is another one that's not that old actually. But it's just me because it's got fringe on the bottom. You could probably still get this one, as I say, on Etsy somewhere. These were all, everybody always had a Peyton's Woolcraft book. You'd probably find, I mean, what was this, £1.65? You'd probably find, I've got a very, very, very old one that was my mum's. They used to update them, not every year, but every couple of years they used to update them. But they're brilliant basic books. That one's got a nice shawl and I think that's why I brought it in, for a shawl. And also it's got basic socks in because I've still got sock wool to knit socks with. It's got basic socks in here. And why I like these basic books is of course they're not done on circular needles. I've got a brilliant sock pattern somewhere. It came with, what's that sock wool that everybody uses? Regia? Can't find it. It was a brilliant sock pattern. And it came out, I could do the heel no problem. And it came out brilliant. Can't find it. It's like everything else in your life, isn't it? You can't find it. Can't find it. I've still got that one. You might have seen me wear it in peach. Yeah. This one took me back down memory lane. I made it for myself when I was only young. And it took me forever to do because it was cabled and I wasn't like used to doing cabling. And my mum, it was done in Cortel. And my mum, who was a really good washer, she don't know what she did with it, but it warped. It went all out of shape. I could have cried because it took me that long to knit it. It was lemon. I found it and I thought, shall I do it again? Shall I do it again? My mum's not here now, is she, to spoil it for me? Oh, bless, she didn't mean to do it. But I was heartbroken at the time. Absolutely heartbroken. Yeah. That's a really good pattern. I've knitted it many, many times. It was a bought pattern. I Live on a Farm, it was called. I had to buy it. Probably still do it, but it just works up brilliantly and it fits really well. And we are really going down memory lane now, because look at that, 6D, socks in nylox. That was what you used to use for socks. It was a mixture of wool and nylon, very, very basic colours like grey, love it, navy blue, black, yeah. And then little socks for babies, look. Small socks for babies in 3-ply weight. I never knitted on 4 needles that much when my son was small. And I don't think he would have worn socks. Oh yeah, I found the pattern. When I had that sweater on yesterday, I said it was from a very, very old book. Really old book. And I found it. That's what I was wearing yesterday. Yay! And there's a dress. Very similar, yeah. I'm so happy I found this pattern. Yeah. Might make it again. I just like wearing it. I mean, you can say how old it is. Look at that. Years ago on the patterns, all the models wore wigs. I never made that dress, and I never made this dress either. So I had it on yesterday, that sweater, and I thought, I really like this sweater. I like it because it's shaped. You know, it goes in at the middle. It gives you a nice shape, yeah. As you know I don't like big baggy things. Yeah. Anyway, that's about me lot, I think. Oh, I found that as well. That's a paid-for pattern. Oh, is it a free pattern? Madame Defarge's fingerless gloves. They look very gothic, don't they? I can't remember if I bought it or whether it was cheap. Cheap. Kimberly Way. Madame Defarge's fingerless gloves by Kimberly Way. Aren't they cute though? Totally impractical. They wouldn't keep you warm for 2 minutes, would they? But they would make your outfit if you were being gothic. Yes. I think that's about it. I think that's all the patterns I brought in. Oh yeah, I brought that in. Not to do the waistcoat. I never wear waistcoats, funnily enough. My mother did. I crocheted my mum. Oh gosh, loads and loads of waistcoats. But the cardigan is the same pattern with, obviously it's got sleeves in them. But I might wear that with sleeves. Anyway, I think that's where I'm up to now. I think I'm going to go and make some dinner, tea, whatever you want to call it. Don't know what time it is. Oh, it's 4:45. It's a bit early yet, isn't it? I'm still waiting for a reply back from my scooter man. I don't know whether I've got one yet. No, I haven't. Oh, telling me Sheila's got a video up. No, he's not replied. It's funny because he normally does. I was discussing this before with a friend of mine, and she said, he hasn't. I said, he must be busy or doing something. He normally rings me back the same day. Anyway, if he doesn't ring me tomorrow, I'm going to have to ring the office, and he might be on holiday or might be ill or something, I don't know. So, might be having a day off. People are allowed to have days off, aren't they? Oh, hello, what's that? Hello. It's good to be back. Oh, it's Linda. Sharing a reel. She shares me millions of reels every day. So I'm going to go and I need to sort that sleeve out. I think I've crocheted too much on my sleeve. My hexagon jacket. I was crocheting away while I was watching the telly last night. And I looked at it this morning and I thought, it's like an arm for a orangutan. I thought, you've gone a bit mad there, Janet. So I need to try it on. I was wearing my dressing gown last night because, it's cold at night, isn't it? So I thought, I'm not stripping off to try it on. But I thought it's a bit orangutan arm here. So I think I need to pull a few rows back. And then do the other sleeve. I've been very lax lately. I just keep sitting there cuddled up in me. If I haven't got the heating on, I've got me, a heated throw. I'm cuddled up in that. And I didn't want to take my hands out to crochet because my hands were warm underneath. This cold weather's affecting me crochet. Or me crochet, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go now. And you probably won't see me tomorrow because I'm not doing Vlogember or whatever you call it, Vlog November. Not doing that. I'm not promising to do one a day because I know I will. I'll fail miserably. But I just thought I would update you today that I'd found that book and tell you what a good programme it was. And I wish they would repeat something similar. Sorry, Tom Daly, but I wasn't that impressed with your World of Wool. Some people seem to like it, but it wasn't my cup of tea. No. So, right, tee-ho, I'm going to go. So please give me a thumbs up. I always have loads and loads of views, which I'm very grateful for, don't get me wrong. I love it when people watch me videos, but I get very few thumbs up, yeah. Sad, innit? I'm trying to raise my profile. I keep telling you, I want to be an overnight sensation before I die. And as I'm 80 this month, you know, it's getting closer. Take pity on me. I mean, I am in good health-ish. I still haven't got my flu jab, but hey-ho, that's by the by. At least I'm not bad like I was last week. Oh, because I got, you know, chilled to the bone last week on that scooter, coming back down the seafront, and I was ill all over the weekend, but we won't go there. Anyway, this week, pain is on its normal level, so all's well in the world, yeah. So anyway, like, subscribe, tell all your friends. I'm sure they want to see me, if only for a laugh, you know. I mean, my friend phoned me up and she said, oh, I did laugh when you were doing the ironing. So I'm glad if somebody finds me amusing, you know. I mean, do give me comments. I like the comments, you know, it's nice. I don't always answer them, but I usually give you a heart, yeah. But when there's a heart, that means I've read it, you know. You may get an answer, you may not get an answer, but I've read it, yeah. Read all the comments. I won't say good and bad because I'm very fortunate. Very, very fortunate. Very seldom I get a negative one. Very seldom indeed. So I do thank you all for that, yeah. Anyway, as usual, I'm going to go now. And if you would love to buy me a coffee, there's a link to my Ko-fi underneath the video. You may see me tomorrow, you may not. You may see me before the end of the week, you may not. So just watch this space. If you subscribed, the theory is that YouTube will tell you when I've got a video out. That's the theory. Doesn't always work in my case. Oh my God. It looks like I've got a bird's nest stuck on top of my head, doesn't it? What the hell happened to that? It was every time I sat down, I banged my head on the... It's got plastic sides on the scooter that roll down, in theory, when it rains. I never roll them down because the wind buffets you and it nearly blows you in the sea. But theoretically speaking, you can roll the sides down. But because they're rolled up, they get in your way. You have to duck to get into the scooter. And of course, because I was looking at the patterns, I kept sitting on the scooter, because, you know, I can't stand long. Sitting on the scooter, and every time I got on the scooter, I banged my head. So it sort of destroyed what little bit of hairstyle I had in the first place. But never mind. It'll get washed tomorrow. Have my shower, get washed, go to Knit Club. Because my scooter will struggle as far as Knit Club. It's only 2 streets away. It's just I don't trust it to go to Fleetwood anymore because it's going to die on me and I don't want to get rescued with that low loader. It's embarrassing. You know, people looking. Massive, great, articulated lorry comes with a low loader to pick up my scooter. If it does again, I'll take a video because it's amusing, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go. So thank you for the company if you've been watching me. Thank you very much. And if you like Tom Daly, please let me know. Oh, dearie me. Anyway, bye for now. I'm going to make me tea. Bye.